Voglio dirtelo nella tua lingua. Se sbaglio, dimmelo. Già mi manchi, amore.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the second episode of our podcast. We are here today with Spasi and Yani.
Hello!
Hello everyone!
And in today's episode, Spasi will be our host and we have invited two guests. And the one guest came especially from Belgrade to be part of this podcast. So everything is very special today. So now I give the word to Spasi.
So we formulated the topic about why people get divorced, but we are going to talk in general about the relationships and why people break up. Also, we invited two male guests because we believe it's very important to hear both opinions of the male side and the female side. Our guests are Marianne and Alan.
Hey there.
Hello.
So I propose that we open today's discussion with a general question. What do you think about the relationships nowadays? We can start with your opinion, Yani.
Well, in my opinion, in today's world, it's really hard to maintain a healthy relationship because of the hectic life that people have. Most of the times, couples separate because of small fights and bickering, and this is because the tolerance is really low and people just are not used to making compromises.
So you have an interesting opinion, and what about you, Marianne?
Well, my opinion is a bit different, but I think that nowadays people are afraid to express their emotions, and that's a big problem because they feel like they will be hurt over and over again. And general problem is that people don't share their thoughts and emotions like maybe 50 or 60 years ago, because my parents have a marriage of over 30, 40 years, and that's a lot. And I think that if people talk more to each other and express their emotions and opinions more openly, it will be better.
So that's a really good point. And what about you, Alan?
So my opinion is that nowadays with the online relationships and dating apps, it's really hard because people really try going for something new, and everyone gets bored from each other. And this is how toxic relationships start. And nowadays, most of the relationships are toxic because when someone cheats on the other, it starts getting really childish in both sides, because I can even say from my own life, own experience, that it happens a lot these days. I think boys and girls just try and be in a new relationship because it's like a new thing, a new trend, just going out with a guy for max 3 months and then changing him.
Yeah, so I can add to this point that this happens a lot because of today's thinking and the trend of mass consumption, because people are used to using something and then really fast change it for another, something better, something new. And this happens with devices, with clothes, and of course with relationships.
And now the only opinion that's left is your, Chrissy.
Yes, well, I agree with all of the things that the others said, and I want to add that in today's world, the people are a little fake and they don't show their real faces, and it's hard for the other person to get to know you well because you don't show your real character. And sometimes we start a relationship with someone only to have attention and because we miss the feeling of having someone next to us and not because we actually like him or her. And that's really sad because when you want to find the real person for you, you often get disappointed.
So, and what do you think about love at first sight? Because I personally have a bad experience with it.
Personally, with me, I don't believe in it too, but I wish that I could experience this feeling because I feel like in the past it was a common thing, love at first sight, even without talking. People fell in love just with looking at each other, and they could go years and years on having personal conversations. So I wish I could find love of at first sight.
Well, as a guy, I would like to add, and we guys are known for not expressing our feelings that easily. I would like to add that I personally believe in love at first sight because love isn't just a shallow feeling, but you can say that deep down in your heart you feel warmth and security when you see the right person, then you know that person is just right for you, and that if people express their feelings more openly, we'll have stronger and better bonds between them.
Well, I don't believe in love at first sight because, yeah, for sure, when you see someone, the first thing that you notice is their appearance, and you might say, "Oh, yeah, this boy is very attractive," but that's only an initial attraction that isn't enough to have a lasting relationship, true relationship. And I believe that you have to know the person very well and to like all his features, and that's why the love at first sight isn't the true.
Okay, and why do you think people break up?
Well, as I said, for me, it's because people have really low levels of tolerance towards each other and towards minor problems and hinders that can occur during the relationship, and they're not used to making compromises, and for the smallest thing they prefer to separate instead of coping with what's bothering them.
And fix the things, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I agree with Yanni, and I could also add that people don't see a friend in each other. I mean, in my opinion, you have to be friends with a person before you go into a relationship with them, because you need to have the trust that is built up through bad situations and tough times. And yeah.
I think people have to talk more about their insecures and why they hide something of their selves, of their characters.
Yeah.
And this is a big problem, and yeah.
Yeah, and what Marian said about being friends with your loved one before making a relationship with them, it's really important because nowadays many people start their relationship before knowing what's the other person hiding, what's their interest and what's their features, and it's really sad when you find out that there's something crucial that you don't like in the other person when you're already in a relationship with them.
Yeah, but you have to start from somewhere.
But no, I disagree with this because I think when you start a relationship like friends at first, it continues friendly, and when you go in a real relationship, it starts getting really awkward because you start everything like friends and then continue in a relationship. I don't like
and
that.
You can't change this relation. It's
If you start friendly, it ends up friendly too.
yeah.
Well, I partly agree with you too, because it can really backfire. I mean, if you have a friend that is really close to you, and let's say you're best friends from 5 or 6 years, and then you get in a relationship and things don't work out, you end both your relationship and your friendship, which is not good at all.
And can somebody of you share with us some experience or your...
Yeah, I can say that I tried this going out with my best friend, and it wasn't good because you start as friends, you tell all your secrets to them, and then when you break up after the relationship, you just stop talking to this person. And I think it's when you have a best friend, it's important staying best friends.
Yeah, it's a sad story when you lose your friend, like...
And it's very strange because this person was very close to you and you shared almost everything with him, her, and you go into intimacy relationship, and after a breakup you're like total strangers, and this person,
The things change a lot, I think.
yes, from the closest person he becomes a stranger to you.
Yeah, but we were talking about why people break up, and what's your opinion on that?
Breaking up, I think it's really easy nowadays breaking up with a person because I don't know, even like the smallest small talk with a different girl, I think it's starting to...
You mean jealousy?
Yeah, jealousy is the main priority that starts the breaking up with the person that you like.
Yeah, the reason for the conflict.
And I think the trust is very important, because if you trust the person, you won't be that jealous. But yes, I also think that compromises are very important, and if you don't make them, the relationship can't work for a lot time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it can't last.
But I think trust is the hardest thing nowadays because with this online things that's going on right now with online dating apps, you never know what your other half would do. They might even one day go out with a different guy without even knowing, because it's really easy nowadays, and I think it happens a lot, and that's why some of the breakups happen.
Yeah, cheating is a huge problem, and I know many people that have separated because of a third person in the relationship. And what do you think about that?
Well, as you said, jealousy is top one, and the other two are, I think, fake scenarios and overthinking. Because if you put all these fake scenarios in your head and you go through them all day long and all night, you start to think that they're reality, and you start to do things that seemingly hurt the other person. And the other person feels insecure and attacked and starts doing them. And maybe these fake scenarios in your head start turning into reality.
And one of my friends thinks that jealousy is coming from insecures, like somebody start to be
jealous.
Jealous, yeah, of the other because he's insecure in himself or herself.
Yeah, also communication is crucial for the relationship, because as people, we can't read minds, and if we don't know what the other person is thinking, we can imagine fake scenarios, as you all said, and this can really spoil the relationship.
And yes, and the way that we can know what the other is thinking, it's to communicate, and also the communication is very important, because in that way we can solve our problems. And nowadays, because it's easier to break up than solve the problems, many couples break up.
And I think it's the moment that we have to answer the questions: why do people have had divorced? And because our parents think are the best explanation, yeah, because many of them have really last long relationships. And what do you think? What's the secret of these relations?
Well, my parents are divorced, so I can't tell how it looks like the strong relationship and marriage. But well, their reason of the divorce, actually, I'm not sure what is it, because I was very little when
Yeah.
they separated. But they really, I now understand that they have totally different opinions on many topics, and I even don't know how they
Got together.
yes, but well, they had me, so something went well. So and but yes.
Yeah, I think my opinion is before it was, let's say you get married, you get a kid, it was the first priority, getting a kid. I think nowadays families with kids, they don't think about love, they just look after their kids, and this is the most important thing, not even the love, but how you're gonna educate your kid and how the life of your kids is gonna be. And I think that's why our parents are still together, because they don't think about love, they think only about us, and we are the number one priority.
My mother often say that if it wasn't about me and about my sister, they uh, get divorced
Many years ago.
many years ago. Yeah, and do you think that's the
The main reason.
the main reason are children's?
Yeah, I think that's it. Because
Well, in my point of view, my parents are married for a long time, but I don't think they're really happy. They have they have scandals every night. You know, not like big scandals, scandals about little things. And I'm pretty sure if it wasn't me or my brother, they would have divorced many years ago.
yeah, but I think that's something normal in a relationship. Yeah,
And I
having
think
fights,
it-
because it's never gonna be like you're gonna have the same opinions, because not every person is same, and everyone has a different opinion, and that's something normal. But let's say it's a scandal, that a big scandal nowadays with the new families, it always ends up in a divorce, because it's easier to find a new partner nowadays. But let's say before, it was, I think, really
hard
normal.
to
Yeah,
meet
yeah.
someone new.
It was hard, and I don't know, it wasn't a priority getting a new wife.
And to be divorced was a shame in the
Yeah,
past.
people look at you with other eyes.
Yeah, and what you said about the arguments in a relationship, for me, it's really important that couples have these small arguments, because this way they can actually express what's
It saves the relationship.
what makes them angry, or what they don't agree with, and what's it can compensate for these big scandals that can
Ruin.
ruin the whole experience.
I think after every scandal, there is always gonna be a answer, or you're gonna find something to solve the scandal. The important thing is to tell that you don't like a certain thing, because if you don't tell it, it's gonna be a secret, and you're gonna hide from each other, and it's not gonna end up in a good way, because you're gonna divorce if you hide something from your other half.
I think nowadays many people expect that the other person know what they think and what they want. So I think this is a big problem. So nobody can read your mind, and nobody can be in your head. So
Yeah, that's why you say if you got a problem.
yeah, you have to talk, you have to argue sometimes, because it's part of the relation and of the relationship, and I think it's something normal if it's not toxic, and if it's not get stress for you.
Yeah, if you keep silent for about the things that bother you, then it all's gonna acquire, and in some moment it just gonna blow up.
Yeah, that's I think we have a really strong point here.
Yeah, and so to close up the topic, do you want to say one crucial thing that you think it's important for keeping the relationship alive?
Yeah, I think communication is one of the best things, one of the most important even things. And I don't know, having kids nowadays is really hard because some families even can't look after each other. And when they have a kid, it starts even getting harder. And that's why some families rather getting the baby gone because they can't look after it. And I think that's why most of the breakups happen. And I wish that this stops and every family starts getting with each other and having kids because this is why we're here.
Yeah. For me personally, the most important thing is the trust, because one relationship without trust and without be
Open to share.
open to share, yeah, it's not a relationship.
Well, I have one thing to say. You need to respect and love each other because, that's the most important thing. Everybody can love. Love is it's a primal human feeling, but respect is something you choose to do, and I think respect comes before love. Real love.
Yeah, and we have to love each other, no matter if it's your boyfriend, your girlfriend, or it's only your friend, parent, or your sibling.
When a person is feeling loved, he will give back the same feeling towards you.
Of course.
Good point.
Thank you so much, guys. I think that's all for today's episode. I hope that we have answered all your questions about the topic. We will see you in the next episode. So cheers.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.